Hi everyone, I'm Meg and I'll be presenting our course project on implicit image compression. I'm also joined by my teammates Varun and Zach. A variety of signals we extract, measure, or process are continuous. Yet we are often constrained to represent them in a discrete manner. The alternative is to define a continuous mapping between the signal's domain and range. Neural networks can serve as such mappings. A lot of recent work in the vision and graphics community has utilized neural representations. On the right, we see a few target applications and signals represented. In the case of images, a neural representation would map 2D pixel locations to RGB values. For every image, we overfit an MLP on this dataset of grid values and RGB intensities. Given the universal approximation theorem for MLPs, this may seem straightforward. However, commonly encountered value MLPs will fail to fit high-frequency detail with finite capacity and training time. To represent this high-frequency detail, we require periodic activations and a careful initialization scheme. Throughout this project, we shall consider Siren and MLP with sinusoidal activations. For any representation to be useful, compressibility is important. If we consider images, our task is now transformed from image compression to compressing the MLP's weights. This can be quite counterintuitive simply because deep networks are characterized by overparameterization. Further, these parameters are stored in full precision, and compressing a layer can cascade across the feed-forward model. Consequently, it is possible to have a baseline MLP requiring more storage than the raw image itself. Our approach to compressing implicit images is greatly motivated by existing work in model compression. We begin by fitting an MLP to the image and then sparsifying it by removing a certain number of connections. In practice, we find it beneficial to do this while training. At this stage, we can cut the number of weights anywhere between 2 to 100 times. Next, we quantize the non-zero weights, reducing the precision required to store them. Finally, we use entropy encoding to efficiently store these sparse weights. Overall, our pipeline can result in a model compression between 10 to 200 times by trading off PSNR by zero point 0.1 to 10 dB.
We base our design choices on images from the image compression benchmark. We chose this over standard datasets like Kodak since there are multiple formats available for each image such as 16-bit, sRGB and linear RGB. We also aim to have varying levels of JPEG compressibility. Particularly amongst the three, the flower image is most compressible, followed by the bridge and building images. Here's a quick comparison of a pipeline to JPEG. Both are very similar except for the discrete cosine or wavelet transform being replaced by a neural representation. In fact, we can interpret Siren's last layer as a set of learnt sinusoidal frequencies and coefficients. Our method operates on a single image and requires no dataset. Finally, there aren't any hyperparameters to tune here. We use the target sparsity as our quality level, which determines how much to compress by. Our sparsification scheme is based on recent progress in dynamic sparse networks. Unlike conventional pruning where you first train a dense network and then sparsify it, we instead directly train sparse networks from scratch. This approach called wriggle outperforms other techniques to reduce the total number of weights. We also find that weight compression via low rank decomposition performs poorly, possibly because sinusoidal activation maps are not easily represented by hash functions. Additionally, using smaller hidden layers, which we call small dens, is inferior to sparse networks. This indicates that sparsity can outperform architecture tuning without requiring any repetitive training. We note that preserving PSNR is significantly more challenging than preserving accuracy, especially at higher decibel levels. Quantization was arguably the trickiest stage to implement correctly. We resort to k-means clustering, where we convert a floating point array into a labeled integer array and the corresponding centroids. To preserve PSNR, we fine-tune for a few iterations post-training. As illustrated, this involves accumulating gradients via scatter addition to update centroid values. Notably, quantization approaches which are popular in the classification domain, such as linear quantization, range-based quantization, or even quantization-aware training, don't quite work well. Such techniques tend to deteriorate PSNR by at least 5 decibels. To complete the pipeline, we make use of Z-standard, an entropy-based lossless encoder to store these sparse weights.
We compare our method against three existing codecs: JPEG, JPEG 2000, and WebP. On natural images, we match or exceed the performance of JPEG 2000, but do worse than WebP. To demonstrate the benefit of learned representations, we consider images which are comprised mostly of text. JPEG and JPEG 2000 are not designed for this domain and perform poorly. Despite having a pipeline similar to JPEG, our learned representations better preserve the high-frequency components and outperform other approaches. We now present some qualitative results in the low bit rate or high compression regime. On the top row, we compress the raw image by 150 times and on the bottom row by 80 times. Evaluated on PSNR, our method outperforms both JPEG variants, but falls short of WebP. We can also see block artifacts in both JPEG and WebP, since these are block compression methods. In contrast, JPEG 2000 only contains ringing artifacts, as seen as blur and rings near the edge. Our approach doesn't have either major artifacts, but loses out on high frequency detail at high compression rates. Some obvious advantages of our pipeline are: we don't need any information other than the image ahead of time. We do not handcraft our hyperparameters or methods for a specific image domain. There's no need for a heavy decoder. We can simply forward propagate our pixel coordinates through the network, which is very quick. The downside is encoding is very slow. It can be roughly 6 minutes per image. There already exists better algorithms than JPEG, yet JPEG continues to exist. But for future work, we leave replacing k-means and Z-standard, speeding up encoding, and taking into account data priors. Thank you for your time. You can find all of our code on GitHub, training plots on weights and biases, and an extended description on our website. We'd be happy to take any of your questions now.